Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics on Channels Television. I'm Kayode Kikilu here in Lagos. These are the major political stories making the rounds at this hour. Federal government lists protocols to follow for future distribution of palliatives to the vulnerable to prevent another deadly stampede, just as Lagos State mandates charity organizers to engage Safety Commission. Rivers APC, led by Mika Beke, criticizes National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje over his handling of the leadership dispute, claims that the chairman is trying to hand over the party to FCT Minister Ayesam Wike, while the Tony Okocha-led group says it will expel those who are not in support of his leadership. Welcome to the program. Vice President Kashim Shettima is assuring of a support of the federal government to families affected in Saturday's Stampede in Anambra and the Federal Capital Territory during the distribution of Christmas palliatives. In a condolence message signed by Senior Special Assistant on Media and Communications Stanley Kocha, the Vice President expressed deep sorrow over the losses, just as he offered prayers and heartfelt condolences. He says, "We stand ready to support the bereaved families through this difficult period, and no effort will be spared in providing the necessary assistance they need." He goes on to say, "We have directed relevant agencies to provide immediate support to affected families. To those currently receiving treatment in various hospitals, their recovery is our priority, and we will stand with them through this challenging time." 22 persons lost their lives in the Stampede in Okija, Anambra State, while 10 persons died in Abuja during an annual Christmas food sharing event at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Maitama. The two incidents occurred 3 days after the Stampede at the Islamic High School, Bashorum in Ibadan, Oyo State, where several children lost their lives during a holiday funfair celebration. Meanwhile, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Poverty Alleviation, Mr. Nentawe Yuwate, has sympathized with the families of the victims of the recent Stampede in Oyo, Anambra, and Abuja. He says that the cause of these stampedes are when charity organizations disregard the basic safety protocols of such events. The minister listed protocols and plans and he says that the plans are on to domesticate them at state and local government levels.
First, I want to sympathize with the families and the entire country for the life of the loved one that we lost, especially the family of the loved ones and their relatives. As a government, we're so depressed by what happened. I think we need to look at the most important, the primary cost of this issue, where events are organized without without following the basic protocol of such event. When you organize the event and you say there's a registration point, people register. You select the people that are going to benefit from it. So you have beneficiaries list. You can either put distribution point if there are too many. So you arrange for police presence. You arrange, you do a vulnerability check. You do the risk assessment of where you're going to have this event. This will prevent the crisis and stampede that we're having in most locations we're having right now. I think the most important thing here is for us to adopt, for state governments, domesticate these protocols. These protocols are at the national level. We need to get these protocols also domesticated at the state level, even at local government level, so they will make these laws. I think these are major steps that we need to take as government and as people, as individuals, as churches, as organizations that have good intention, but having poorly managed events.
Oh, very sad situation playing out, and we've seen state governments making moves, particularly Lagos. But just before we get into that, we're joined on the program by the President, United Nigerian Youth Congress, Architect Nasir Suleiman, joins us live from our Abuja studio. Welcome to Lunchtime Politics. You're a young Nigerian, and from the death toll, majorly minors and young people as well. I wonder how this resonates with you, really, the events we've seen play out in Oyo State, in Anambra, and now the FCT, the nation's capital, Abuja.
All right. First of all, as the United Nigerian Youth Congress, we are sending our condolences to the people who lost their lives because of the stampede of the palliative being distributed. May their soul rest in peace. And this comes to what we have been saying under the United Nigerian Youth Congress for a very long time about the plight of the Nigerian people. This is how Nigerians are suffering. And it shows that the government have no idea about the magnitude, about the strength of the sufferings Nigerians are facing. It is a very sad situation because it should have been avoided. But most of the government policies, everyone knows, have rendered Nigerians into absolute poverty. So what would you expect when things like this are happening and no one is to be held accountable? For the situation. It is a very sad situation, and the way minors are even, involved in the situation, it's very disheartening to Nigeria in general.
Well, we had a conversation with the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, and this was part of the issues we raised. What is the government doing to ameliorate the plight of these vulnerable people? As you know, multidimensional poverty is above 60% in Nigeria, and that's alarming. And he spoke about the cash transfer to the vulnerable, the households, 25,000 naira 3 times. And he said that the goal of the government is to do 15 million households. So far, they've been able to do, I think, less than 5 million. And I wonder for you, when you look at all of the plans of this government, some of these initiatives, how far do you think they have been effective, and what more needs to be done? Because this is a context for which we're having these tragedies.
Those palliatives or whatever they are distributed based on their own fake statistics, they are just temporary solutions. Few months ago, under the United Nigerian Youth Congress, we have embarked on a mission to visit the 36 states. And what we've seen along our journey is something to be crying about, because Nigerians are in absolute poverty. I've visited almost 36 states just to interact with our people and to see the magnitude of the situation that we found ourselves. And I kept saying, most of the policies governments are bringing, or most of the programs they're initiating, are just programs, statistically very wrong statistics, because if you want to know the reality of what is happening, you have to go to the people. And none of these politicians or those in power knows the exact situation of what is happening on ground. We are the grassroots Nigerians, and we have seen a lot of these situations, which are very pitiable. So these small or short-term, solutions will not take our country anywhere. So what we need is to bring an everlasting solution, and that was why we initiated a program called Agricultural Subsidy, which this program will allow Nigerians to have the opportunity to go into farm and also feed their country. If we don't take this kind of situation, this kind of line, or this kind of this kind of programs, I don't think anything based on palliatives will go anywhere. Now you are talking of bag of rice. It's something some people are even selling 100 and something thousand. How do you expect a common man, to see rice when rice is being distributed free, to not go into that situation? It is a pitiable situation, and those statistics of government are very wrong because they don't know what the people are going through.
I wonder which of the statistics you mean. Is it the statistics of the people it has reached out to? Do you have any other statistics to back your own claim that it is wrong?
Yes, we visited the people. We've visited the 36 states across the country, and what we have is just the reality. All those statistics, on paper written, they are just wrong statistics, because people are suffering, and we have seen it in reality. It's not just someone sitting in a high table in office, writing something about statistics or what is happening in somewhere that he has never been to. We have been to those places, and none of the government policies are reaching the targeted people. This is what we have been saying for over 10 years. Dating back to even the policies of the past administration and now to these current policies. None of these policies are going to the directed audience. And we will never believe or agree with all those policies or those statistics because they are very wrong. What
Right.
we have is the real statistics.
So I'd love to see that. That's why I'm asking, what is your own data? I'd love to see them. If the government says we've reached 5 million, or at least we have this number of people on our register who are covered, I'd like to see the one you have that says, no, it's not 5 million, maybe it's 1 million or less than that. But you made a very important point, which is reaching out to the people, right? And ensuring that whatever it is you're providing is what the people really want. So speak to us about that, because for the government, they said they had to go to the people and ask, what is your definition of poverty? And that's something that the minister spoke about earlier on, saying that they reached out to communities and found out what poverty means to them and how they want that to be resolved. So what do you suggest? Because the government said, for example, there'll be the National Youth Confab, for lack of a better term. Do you think that might be enough, or at least that might go some extent in resolving these issues, ensuring that it is what the people really want that the government is doing?
Real poverty is when people cannot feed their families or feed their people. Real poverty is when the poor man will work daily and the money he earned is not enough to buy food to eat. I've interacted with people, different people, in the very local people that you can imagine. You can't even eat 500 naira gari and even survive in Nigeria today. Because I was in one shop sometime ago, few days ago, and I saw some very young people, very terrible looking, and they asked me to please I should buy them even if it is gari, and I told the guy to give them 500 naira gari with sugar. Unfortunately, even me, that gari will not even be enough for me. So that is the definition of what poverty is about. And anything that the people, the government are calling, let's say the confab, well, it's good, let's sit and interact and discuss. But I will tell you, as long as the policies of the government are not put in place the way they can, touch the lives of the people, I don't think anything will reduce. Inflation, now we are talking of inflation about 30-something%. What do they know when inflation reach 70 or 50%? They don't know what the people are about. They don't know what the people are in. People are dying every day. Now you are talking of exchange rate, whether you are talking of importation policies, they are all affecting the lives of the people. Knowingly or unknowingly, they are affecting the lives of the people. And I don't think those in power really know the reality on ground, the reality of what Nigerians are facing every day. So this is what we've been calling every day. Let the government create policies that will touch the lives of the people, like the program that we initiated, agricultural subsidy. Let them give the Nigerians opportunity to farm, provide them with security, provide them with all the necessary equipment, so that Nigerians will be part of the developing system.
Clearly, a lot of work needs to be done, particularly for the vulnerable, so they're not at the mercy of palliatives. And sadly, we've seen deaths too much, I must say. We have to thank you so much for your time. President, United Nigerian Youth Congress, Nasir Suleiman. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So we've been looking around, and the goal is to ensure that this kind of tragedy does not repeat itself again. Ibadan, yes, is largest city in sub-region. We've seen it sadly play out in Anambra and the FCT. But what about Lagos State? Lagos State is home to at least 20 million people. And we see these food drives, this sharing of palliatives from time to time. So what is the Lagos State government doing to ensure this does not happen in Lagos with that huge population? We're joined on the program by the Commissioner for Information and Strategy of Lagos State, Mr. Gbenga Omotosho, joins us virtually on the program. You're welcome to Lunchtime Politics, Mr. Omotosho.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
I'll just piggyback off what Mr. Suleiman said, that it looks like government is detached from the people a lot of time. So sometimes the policies that are put out doesn't quite reach the people. And I'd like you to speak for Lagos State, because the subnationals are equally very important in this conversation. Is that the case of Lagos? And has Lagos been able to prove that it is in touch with the pains of the people?
Thank you so much. First is to sympathize on behalf of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, with all those people who have lost their loved ones in these incidents that have occurred in some states. And as directly on the question whether Lagos is far away from the people, that is far from the truth. In Lagos, we are close to the people, we address the people all of the time, and we tell them what to do. The various machines we have put in place that we have activated to avoid this kind of incidents in Lagos, we allow our people to have access to them. Only yesterday we had a press conference where we spoke about all of the things that Mr. Governor has directed that we should do. He himself has said a meeting with all safety agencies, and our people are on the ground at all venues where you see a crowd gathering. All we are telling Lagosians is that they should register with the Safety Commission anytime they want to have an event that is going to draw people, whether you are a church, whether you are a charity organization, whether you are a private individual. So long as you are going to gather crowds that will be more than 200, you need to let the Safety Commission know, and you don't need to pay for this. We also have activated our ambulance services. They are at every spot where you have concerns about safety. We have LASEMA, the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, which is also has been activated. We have a neighborhood watch. We have the control center where we can know many things going on in any part of the city. And then the fire brigade, all of them, neighborhood watch, they are all set. So in Lagos, we are doing a lot. And these are agencies that have been mingling with our people all of the time, including the guys who control traffic on the road,
right.
the last man.
That's last
people,
man.
They are all over the place. Mr. Governor has even directed that they should work extra hours so that Lagosians can be safe on the road.
Well, Lagos is very pivotal on different angles or different levels, I should say, and perhaps we'll see the most traffic during this Yuletide season, right? A lot of people are coming back home from abroad, coming to, party and all of that. So walk us through this process, just to be clear, because we don't want any sort of vagueness to it. So if you're an organization, for example, you're expecting over 200 people, or you want to gift 200 people palliatives, food items, will you approach the Safety Commission? You said that they're not meant to pay for this, so nobody's going to collect money from them. So when they approach the Safety Commission, what is the process? Will the Safety Commission get the details and have to give an approval before that event holds? Imagine I have an event tomorrow. So must the Safety Commission give an approval? Will the Safety Commission also deploy men and women to organize, or is just or for your information alone?
Yeah, thank you so much. As soon as the Safety Commission gets information that you are going to have an event tomorrow at any point in time, they will deploy their staff to go there and check out all of the things that can cause a safety concerns in the place, and they will give you the go-ahead to carry on with the show. And then apart from that, they will also monitor during the show to ensure that nothing goes amiss. But the most important thing is that people should not just see it as something that is unnecessary or that is a burden. It is something that is necessary, that is compulsory, because it's about human life. So all of the time they need to, as long as they want to gather people, contact the Safety Commission. And they don't have to come physically. Safety Commission will send the staff there after they have seen the registration on their platform.
So I need to just be clear, because this is very important information and it concerns the lives of people. So if I have an event tomorrow, because this just came out yesterday, right? You just made the announcement yesterday. So I have an event tomorrow that I've been planning for months, and I apply online. You can give us the website, or if there's a phone number for people to reach. What if I don't hear back from the Safety Commission until tomorrow, or nobody comes to, inspect the place? Can I still go ahead with that event, or the Safety Commission has to give approval before the event holds? For 200 plus people, that is.
Yeah, the Safety Commission works 24 hours. So if you have an event tomorrow, I reckon that if it's a big event, you will have known several months, several weeks before the event. And you can just go online to lagossafetyrec.com, and then people can register. You can register and then they can send their staff there to see you. And I feel that is not too much for anybody to do if you care about human life, if you care about safety, if you.
All right, we'll try to reconnect with the Commissioner just to ensure that. Okay, go ahead, Honorable Commissioner. All right, it's important to clear some of these details so people know how to go about these events, right? So we'll try to reconnect with the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos State. Mr. Motosho, if you're back, please go ahead.
Yeah, as I was saying that people should just try as much as possible to register with the Safety Commission and that they have enough staff to go around, even if it's just 24 hours notice that you are giving them, they are going to be there. And they will be there not just before the show, they will be there during the show, and they will ensure that all of the things that they have recommended that you have done time. So for people who want to gather crowds around this time especially, I would like to warn them that this is what they should do as a matter of responsibility and as a matter of the law. Because if you gather people and then lives are lost, the law will frown at that, and the wrath of the law will come upon you. So just for you to sit down behind your computer and register with Safety Commission, and there are people coming over, is what people should do. And they can also request for ambulances. Lagos State government has the Lagos Ambulance Service that is very efficient, and I think such services are critical at this time. So people who want to gather people should ensure that they register with the Lagos Ambulance Service too. They can supply you ambulance, and medical personnel will be there so that they can take care of any emergency. Lagos has state-of-the-art ambulances that are as good as hospitals. They are just hospitals on wheels. So our people should try to take advantage of these facilities at this time.
So no approval from Safety Commission, no event.
That is it. Because should anything happen, the law will take its course.
There you go. Commissioner, it's good to hear that Lagos State is being proactive, understanding the population and the traffic Lagos sees during Yuletide. And that takes me to my final question. Whatever happened on Friday, Commissioner? I don't know where you were in Lagos, but the traffic, particularly on the island, people coming from mainland to the island, was hellish. Some spending I was in that traffic, spent 6+ hours, and I left people in the traffic, got to my destination way past 1 a.m. What exactly went wrong? Was it the president's presence? Was it event holding? What exactly played out? Because I know Lagos, I imagine you did scenario planning based on the traffic you expected, but that was overwhelming.
I think there was a roadwork. And then even before that, there was an accident, a very massive accident on a Kara Bridge. And then Lagos State had to go there to help out to clear the accident. And then that on the island, it's not because of a presidential movement, because I learned that just a road was closed. But I mean, that is not the first time the president has come to Lagos. It happens whenever it comes to Lagos, and you don't experience that kind of massive accident, massive traffic jam that we had on the day you are talking about. So there was a roadwork, a lot of things. And then the human factor that we don't ever consider whenever these traffic jams occur. People they are not careful on the road the way they drive, no consideration for other people. Because I was in that traffic too, and I saw 1 or 2 accidents. People were trying to, beat one another on the line.
Right.
So the human element too should be considered. Most of the time, it's not because the presidency is moving. It's not because something else has happened. Last month people are not there. Last month people are there 24 hours. What happens most of the time is that human element. People not being patient enough, and then people, eating one another. I saw it with my own eyes because I was on my way to Lekki and I experienced the traffic jam you talked about.
Oh, what a day it was. But we have to thank you so much for shedding some light on this, and I hope event organizers and managers will take note. We'll be speaking with the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos State, Mr. Gbenga Motosho. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Well, I'd like to tell our viewers on the DSTV platform that will be going live now for the Christmas carols of Sir Kessentin Adebutu, holding at the Marble House, Remo, Ogun State. It's an annual event, so stay with Channels Television for that live coverage for our DSTV viewers. And we continue with the political stories now. Following the court judgment nullifying congresses that saw the emergence of Rivers State APC factional chairman Tony Okocha is threatened to expel those responsible for what he termed the embarrassment of the party. Mr. Okocha, who was speaking at his residence in Port Harcourt on the occasion of his birthday, also criticized Governor Fubara, who will be accused of using the judiciary as it pleases. Meanwhile, the Rivers State chapter of the APC, led by the reinstated chairman, Emeka Beke, has hit back at Tony Okocha over his threat to expel them from the party. Making this known during a press briefing in Port Harcourt, the state capital, the party spokesman, Darlington Walju, insists that they are the legitimate APC executive committee members in the state and as such cannot be expelled. He further criticized the party's national chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje, for his handling of the situation, saying he was doing a hatchet job trying to hand over the party to the FCT minister, what he described as a gross violation of a party's constitution. So the Rivers APC drama continues, but we'll keep tabs on that. In the meantime, thank you for watching Lunchtime Politics at this hour. Stay with Channels Television for all of your breaking news. I'm Kayode Okikiolu. Let's take it easy. It's a Yuletide.